Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pizza Story podcast. I have Matthew Zeiss here with us today. He is the founder of Holy Hot Honey. So, Matthew, thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Truly, it's as a newbie to the pizza community, it's pretty cool to get the opportunity to come on your podcast and speak to people in a field where, as I said, I'm pretty new, but
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really want to get to know you and kind of your life. Before you got into the pizza industry, I know that we've been kind of DMing back and forth on Instagram, and you sent me this thing, and it was like these different jobs. And I was like, oh, we definitely need to like get into this.
yeah. Excuse me. The out of high school, my forte was always music. That's kind of just been the grounding for me. But formal education, as in college, wasn't really my thing. So what I did was to create a different idea for myself was an informal education, but still something I can use for life. So I intentionally sought out to get different jobs in different fields so I can get a bigger, broader life experience. And with that, I got just that, honestly, and I don't regret any of it. I was able to, I was working in construction, building houses for a bit. I was a cook at a pizzeria. I didn't have my hands on the pizza itself, but I was making the actual other dishes and, dinners and such in the back. Um, I was a manager of a vitamin store. I was a salesman at a gym, not a very good one, but a salesman at a gym. I just did just about anything I could. But where I found myself really enjoying it and in my own lane was when I became a bartender and bar manager and really got to dive more into the field of concocting recipes and mixing flavors and such. That's kind of where everything really started for me in the food business.
That's awesome. So you kind of opened yourself up to almost any and every experience that you could have, and then kind of got into the food industry after that.
Yeah, one of those main jobs that I had gotten, because I'm also 6'2". So when you're 6'2", one of the jobs you kind of have to have is a bouncer. It's like,
Yeah.
it goes with the territory. If you're able, it's good money. And I did that. But what I found was that I was far more personable than the bartenders at this particular establishment that I was at. I was talking to, I don't know, 300 people every weekend, maybe more, and really having conversations with these people and realizing, man, what am I doing here? Like, I can be behind the bar and do just fine, different set of clothes and I'm good. So I did that, finally found a bar just, I don't know, up the street from that establishment. And this guy gave me the opportunity, gave me the chance to get started because I don't know if you're familiar with bartending, but like there's really there's certificates that you can get, but people want experience. They want to know, what have you done? What have you? So this guy gave me the chance. And because of that, I befriended the chef in the kitchen. We would, put back and forth some recipe ideas, and I got to figure out I actually had some taste buds to develop flavors.
Oh, that's really cool.
Music for me, I've been doing it since I've been singing since I was 5, went on stage for the first time since when I was 9, and just then right at, then there's like that pubescent years where your voice changes and such, and took a little thing. But right out of high school, I started pursuing it hard, like really, really, pedal to the metal. And I was doing some good stuff. It's tough. They say music is 1 in a million shot, and it's correct, but for a variety of reasons. You just, at least in my experience, when I was told that, you're like, oh, is it because of talent? Because, I have blah, blah, blah. There's a variety of reasons. I had sat down with some super big names in that industry, and it's hard. They want so much of you for so little at first, and recoupables, this, that, whatever. But I was doing a lot of shows in New York, a lot of shows in my band, original music, but I've always had a big Elvis thing. Thus, this mini statue right here,
Yeah.
and I can do it well. So I moved to Sweden in 2020, or 21, and when I got here, I was like, you know what, the American in Europe doing Elvis music could probably be a good thing, and it has been. My band and I won Europe's number one Elvis position, according to the German festival. Things have been moving with that. It's a tough job to make a living on.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that. My brothers were in the music industry for a while and they played, all over the country. They played in New York. They even played at Lollapalooza, but it was a very similar thing of just really being able to have that continue as a career and all the things you have to sacrifice at the beginning, which is the hardest part.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, what kind of genre was their music?
Rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And in modern times, I feel like rock and roll is even a little extra difficult, because rock and roll isn't as popular as it once was. But I mean, it sounds like if they played, like you say, Lollapalooza, that they did some fun stuff.
Yeah, they did some fun stuff. I mean, they definitely, their band was called Peanut Butter Lovesicle, funny enough. And yeah, they played some really cool things. But again, and it was like my two brothers and my cousin, and I think it just got to the point where it became a lot of
Yeah.
sacrifice, a lot of traveling, and not really sustainable. Um, so I want to talk to you about pizza and hot honey because you sent me some hot honey and we use it all the time and it's absolutely amazing. It's really, really delicious. We just made pizza with it yesterday, but how did you kind of start making this or like come upon this product?
With Holy Hot Honey, it was when I coming here to Sweden was a, a change, of course, as it would be. But as a New Yorker, pizza is part of your lifestyle. It's part of everything. And so when I got here, I realized that it really wasn't a thing here. Like pizza is a thing, but not New York style pizza. It's different. It has a Middle Eastern background here, and it's delicious. I should state that it is delicious. It's just different. Uh, Kebab pizza is the number one pizza, and I just started studying how to make pizza online, and then who I think you had already as a guest. You're going to again. I befriended Garrett from Vincenzo's Pizzeria on Long Island. He really kind of showed me. Let me watch him make a pizza for real and just kind of educate that, and and then Scott from Scott's Pizza Tours. He gave me some tips, and what I should say while my mind is there, that this community, this pizza community, is by far the most welcoming community I think I've ever experienced in all of the jobs that I've had. Everyone's like, yeah, sure, do this, do that. I'll give you a tip. It's a more the merrier type of game where nobody really sees a whole lot of competition. They just see it like, yeah, let's do this. And I think that's great. Um, so through all of that, I discovered Mike's Hot Honey. And what had happened was getting Mike's Hot Honey over here and getting it fast. I was like, all right, I'll make my own first. And then I tried his also. And I get it. It's like warm candy, and I understand why people, it's delicious, and I get it. But for me, I have a more savory desire within my palate, and I was like, okay, so I get it. I'm a ranch dressing on pizza kind of guy. Some people will, bark at that, but it's like, it's just my flavor. So I was like, how can I combine these? My favorite and this, because I also like heat. I'll put Frank's hot sauce on my pizza quite often, and because it's a comfortable hot, it's not overly spicy. It's just flavorful, and so I aimed for that. And I had concocted a bunch of recipes, tried different things, and then let a bunch of people in the near me that are in the pizzeria stuff try them. Let regular friends and such try them and see which one. And everybody liked that recipe. They were like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is good on regular pizza. This is good on kebab pizza. Then we tried it on wings, burgers, and yeah, just a bunch of trial and error. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot. Not to reinvent the wheel. Just drive it a little faster.
Absolutely. So when you first kind of started on the journey, were you planning to make hot honey? Was this something that was like, okay, my end goal is to have this product?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. My end game was originally to open up a New York slice shop here.
Amazing.
Um, Figuring, and yeah, I figured why not, So when I had first met Garrett, the same day I had actually met Scott from Scott's Pizza Tours and Paulie G from Paulie G's. And when we met up with Scott's like, oh, meet us at DeFara's Pizza. And when I had DeFara's, have you had it?
No.
It's the best pizza one of the best pizzas I've ever had, because also Mike's from Mike's Underground Pizza in Amityville, he became the best pizza I've ever had. But it was an eye opener. It was like, oh, all right, this is the goal now. DeFara's Pizza is my goal, and I can say confidently, like after months and months of gaining weight, I nailed it. It was like I really buckled. I mean, we're talking 3 pizzas a week, like making this stuff, and it was
My
just like,
dream.
yeah, well, it's a heavy dream, and it was just but but yeah, so that was my goal, the slice shop, and maybe one day still. But I figured, while this product is something that is taking the world by storm, because it clearly is, um, and that I developed something that not only I thought was good, but that other people thought was good. That was the part that made the most sense. Like, because I can like something and it can taste like crap, but if everybody else was like, "No, this is good," all right, I'll roll with it.
No, it's delicious, and one thing that really stands out is the name's awesome. Like, did you have, like, a plan or ideas or something behind the name?
I'm glad you like the name. I love the name. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of alliteration. That's like my thing. If you were to listen to my music, you'll find a lot of alliteration and words like that. So for me, it was like, instead of cursing and saying, holy shit, it was like, oh, holy hot honey, that's good. And it came out just like that, where I was like, I want something like that, and then holy, it just, what goes with honey, and my alliteration brain went right to it, and just holy hot honey, boom. And the tagline, divinely sweet, sinfully spicy, it might have been, um I maybe could have thought of something different, because I think there's a misconception with the tone of sinfully spicy. For me, the idea is, things that are sinful feel good often. They're not like, I didn't want it to be hellishly hot or devilishly hot. It was sinfully spicy, because uh, again, Frank's hot sauce, I'm not sure if you're a fan. I'm a big
I
fan, but
love Frank's hot sauce.
yes. Ex-
Yeah, I've been on
yeah.
that stuff since I was a kid.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, it's just so freaking good. Like, and for Christmas, I bought my wife and I a variety pack of Frank's flavored ones. They make dill pickle, which is bonkers good. Chipotle, fantastic. I mean, Hawaiian, I mean, it's just can't. I mean, you'd think I worked for Frank's at this point, because it's just I can't boast of them enough. But that they were my inspiration. So again, the sinfully spicy. I'm a graphic designer full time. That's my full time job. So I was able to do all the labeling. And while on that, by the way, your children's book illustrations are so warm and friendly.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, thank
I
you.
love that. Getting the right illustrate, and you've done them yourself, yeah?
So, no, I have an illustrator,
Uh-huh.
but funny enough, I sent her all the pictures of, like, our family, and
Hmm.
we kinda collaborated together, and she hand drew everything, and it was like, I wanted the book to, like, feel like the story and the family, and I'm so happy with it. Like, that was one of the things where I was like, "This came out exactly the way I wanted it to."
Yeah, I mean, the way it exudes this warmth and happiness, of it, just joyful. When you pick up a children's book, you want it to be joyful and get your heart in there. When I think about books that I liked as a kid, so when I've seen shots that you posted of the book, I'm like, wow, like I love these illustrations, like truly,
Yeah, thank you so much. Do you and your wife
absolutely.
have kids?
Yeah, my wife, they're not my biological children, but they're my wife's kids from a previous relationship. But yeah, our son is going to be 11 in a few months. Our daughter's going to be 14 in a month. And
Wow.
that's kind of how this started too. Was when I first moved here, I started trying pizza like crazy, and it wasn't good for anybody. So, but
Yeah, I
then
was gonna ask you.
no, no, my wife was not happy that we were eating so much pizza, because it was fun in the moment, but then you looked in the mirror, you're like, "Oh, this isn't good. Should take a pause." And then, but then I asked my kids, and I was just like, "Would you want to go around like in that Dave Portnoy style and start trying pizzerias here. And my daughter is at that age where she's like, no, that's embarrassing. I was like, all right, whatever. And then I asked my son, he's like, yeah, let's start right now. Like, let's do it.
Nice.
So, and yeah, and that kind of opened up, and that also introduced me to the pizza community here. It's not as buddy buddy as it is in the States. It's more, I don't think any of these pizzeria owners know each other. It doesn't seem that way anyway. But we have a lot here anyhow, and they all taste the same. I would say 9 out of 10, you couldn't tell the difference between one or the other. My favorite is this one spot, Stanton's Pizza, and they peak it, but otherwise it's like, yeah.
What is the style? Like, what are you having when you're there? 'Cause I think I don't know if I've ever been there, but I really am curious about the pizza.
I had smuggled a pie into the States when I went to meet Scott and Paulie G. They both thought it lacked flavor. So uh, the thing that I would justify that with is that here, I don't think anybody other than myself, what they call a margarita pizza isn't what we call a margarita pizza in the States. Here, margarita pizza is just a regular cheese pizza. And they don't know the term pie, FYI. And it took me a minute to realize that. They're like, what? I was like, oh, can I have a margarita pie? They're like, pie? But most people are getting toppings. As I said, kebab pizza is number one. For it to lack flavor kind of makes sense if your whole purpose with your main pizza is a foundation and you're supposed to build on it for the folks
Yeah.
here. And but I'm a regular cheese bread sauce type of dude. I just take it straight up. Maybe if I'm in the States, I'll get a buffalo cheese slice or something. But
Yeah.
otherwise, just right across. It's thin, not like Brooklyn style thin. Oh, half the size, maybe I would say, of a normal, like New York slice. That's what I would say. But the crust is never hard. Like it's always, because I'm sure I've been to pizzerias where the crust is like you don't leave it because you don't like crust. You leave it because it's like, well, this isn't pleasurable. Like
Yeah.
so. And here, it's always like it's like a little after treat. It's so, but I get it. It's very different though. I'm trying to think. I've never actually, oddly enough, sat and tried to break down the flavor profile, but it's a little herby, heavy on the cheese, light on the sauce, um, a very light crust. Nothing is hand tossed. No dough is hand tossed here, which is very interesting. They have a dough press. Every pizzeria has it. It's just this round machine. You put the ball in, right, and
Yeah.
out it comes. So every pizza is the same size, the same. But I respect it. It's different.
Yeah, it is very interesting to hear how different countries make pizza.
I have no experience with other countries. Like, are there other countries that, I mean, aside from like Italy, of course?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Italy is the best country. Like, I've been to a lot of places in Italy, and I don't think I've ever had a bad pizza there, but my sister, she, is in music management, she travels around the
Oh,
world, and so
okay.
from any day to week, you never know if she's gonna be, like, Tokyo or Amsterdam, or, like, right now she's in Spain, and, like, just hearing from her, like, the different, like, types of pizza that are there, like Germany. I think one time we were there and it was, like, kind of like a pizza, but it had, like, a hot dog on it, which Italy
Okay.
yeah, some places in Italy also have that, which was a little bit surprising. So, it is definitely like I think a diverse dish, and, like, wherever you go, you really don't sometimes know what you're gonna get.
No, I'm sure. I did have pizza in Germany, and uh, I guess they were going on the standard, play because it tasted regular. It was very good, but I would be super. I mean, so interesting to see stuff like that. When you see online, also, what I think is even extra fascinating is where I'm sure you've seen it. There's like this little dude in one of the Asian countries, like this guy who's making it at a hut. Have you seen that guy? Like
No, but I want to.
this older Asian guy who's just, you gotta like go through it's like a hidden gem, and that's all he does every day, but it looks so traditional. It doesn't look like it's different. I mean, it's so cool.
Wow.
I would, yeah, if I find the video, I'll forward it to you. I haven't seen it some time, but it was one of those things where you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like, it's super cool.
No,
Um,
definitely send that to me, that's incredible.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would. That's the kind of pizza where you're like, "All right, I think I might go to the country just for that," you know?
Yeah, absolutely, like, I would love to do just, like, a worldwide pizza tour and just, like, what kind of pizza do they have in each different place?
You should convince Scott to, arrange that. Yeah,
But he's the
or
best, isn't he?
S he's I mean, it doesn't really get much nicer than Scott.
Literally.
You know, when we met up with him at Defar's, you would have thought we were friends forever, just the way he was engaging and yeah, such a nice guy. You know, that's what I was going to ask you. I don't know if you can say it. What part of the world is your favorite pizza from? I don't want to say what's your favorite pizzeria because that could offend people, but the area.
Okay, so there's a couple, but I would have to say what stands out for me is so my dad takes us to Italy a lot. In fact, we're getting
Okay.
ready to go back in, like, a week and a half, and he took us to a place in Italy called Lucca,
Okay.
and it's very cool because it has, like, this old sort of wall around the town that was kind of put there, like, I think during one of the wars, and there's a bike trail on it now, and it's super amazing, and then sort of inside the town, they have all these, like, shops in downtown and all stuff like that, so the original pizzeria that's been there, like, since the beginning of time is still there, and he took us there, and let me
Is
tell
this
you,
1738?
I don't
That
know, but
place?
it
Oh,
was it is it has been there, it's the was the first pizzeria there ever,
yeah.
it's still open today. We went there for, like, between lunch and dinner, you sort of need, like, a snack. So we're like, "We're just gonna
Sure.
have 1 pizza, 5 of us, we're just gonna split it." I think we
Yeah.
ended up having, like, 3 pizzas because the
Oh
pizza
yeah.
was so good.
If this is the place I'm thinking of, I literally just reached out to them because I would love to talk to these people because Garrett and I were thinking about we're going to start our own Holy Hot Honey Hour where we get to do the same thing and interview other people. But I can imagine that you're the first pizzeria in the area, and I mean, it had they if you don't perfect it in that much time,
Yeah, you're still
wow,
there, like, I mean, this is, like at least 100 years, if not more, but they're still there, and the pizzas are still incredible, and you walk in there, and it's literally set up like a slice shop, like, super
man,
tiny. I mean, only maybe 10 people can fit inside there at a time. The people there are just, like they're just slinging pizzas. There's just no, like they know what they're doing, and people are just in and out. It's amazing. It is
there's no
it I
line
love
or
it.
nothing.
There's a line, but they're so fast and they're so efficient because I think it's been, like, the whole family's been doing this for their whole lives.
Yeah,
You just sort of walk in, you eat, you walk out, it's just moving traffic constantly, and there's no, like some people get busy and they're like, it's overwhelming and they're freaking out.
sure,
That doesn't
yeah,
happen there. It's not
yeah.
happening.
No, they're born into it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they don't care.
Um, and so they sell by the slice.
Oh, yeah, you can get by the slice,
Yeah.
they have got, like, the slice cases, and then you can order trays there, and they're just firing out pizzas. They got the wood-fired oven, thin, crispy, amazing. I feel like the ingredients in Italy is just, like, a whole 'nother level of pizza.
It must be. You know, there was a guy online who said that he vacationed in Italy for 12 days and lost weight and ate more than he eats in the States and lost weight. So I'm sure what they're making is worth talking about. I have yet to go there. My wife and I talk about it all the time. Like I have to go because so maybe if you're saying that that pizzeria might be 100 years old, or something, there's a pizzeria that exists that apparently opened up in 1738.
Wow.
That's still there, and, that's a place where I'm also like, "Man, I'm so interested."
Yeah, so interested. There's also one called La Pacea. It's in, Levanto and, like, Cinque Terre, like, right that region.
Okay.
And Levanto is like a little town that's sort of right there. And so when we go to Italy, we often stay there and you have like the water and then they have these tunnels where you ride bikes and you come out of the tunnel and it's this just like blue water. And this is a family owned place. And the son is like a champion pizza maker. Like he's won all these
Wow.
championships. You go in and it's all over the wall. And that's another pizzeria where it's like, this is the spot. But I mean, Italy, there's probably every town and region, there's spots like that.
Of course, and I'm sure every region makes it a little different and such too, and, I'm getting so hungry. You
I
know,
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure you go through this all the time.
Oh, every day. It's so funny because my trainer's like, "No carbs," and I'm like, "How?" Like, my last name's D'Arcangelo. I was born into a pizzeria, like, how am I
Yeah.
eating no carbs? And then I'm in pizza almost all day besides, I do like half a day marketing, half a day pizza, and then every
Yeah.
night my husband's like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Well, pizza." Like, I've been looking at pizza the whole day.
That and, someone once said, they're like, when I worked at a pizzeria, and the last one of the last restaurants that I worked at also was an Italian restaurant. They're like, "Oh, I'm sure if you're around pizza all day, you don't want it." I'm like, "No, you do. No, you do." I never got tired of it, not once.
Never.
I had at least a slice every day, at least.
Yeah, I would rather work out double and be able to have pizza than to not be able to have pizza. Like, it's a part
Yeah.
of my DNA.
I get it. Also that's a good excuse to go to the gym too. Be like, well, I don't I just basically have to force myself like angrily to not I won't stop. I don't have an off switch. So I mean, I remember one time in New York, I had gotten home and I literally had 9 slices of pizza before I was like, because it was like there was a pie and then one extra pie, and I went through the full pie and then one slice of the other one. I'm like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy. That's so much pizza.
Yeah, well, I'm very much the same, but there's not another food that I feel that I could eat like that, but pizza. And my husband, he puts down probably double what I put down, but it's like we're in for pizza, we're not playing around. Like, we're there to
No.
eat.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I agree though. There isn't another food that I would consider eating to that degree or that I don't get tired of. Maybe donuts. Maybe
Yeah,
donuts.
donuts. Don't yeah,
Don't
absolutely donuts.
Have you ever made donut pizza? Like just using a glazed donut as the bread?
No.
It's pretty marvelous. It's pretty
Wow.
marvelous. It's it's I wouldn't recommend it if you have artery trouble, but it's
I don't.
delicious. Good. Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah, exactly. Don't yet. I love it.
Krispy Kreme donut sliced right in top. It's great. It's really great.
That sounds so good. So, do you make pizza often?
I do now, yeah.
Yeah.
And my kids love it. Every week I make my batch of dough. I make usually it's enough for. I make it where it makes 3 pizzas. Usually one for the kids to have right then, one to put in the freezer, and then like one that I'll munch on. But they love it. I make my own sauce. I get and then the dough is like a concoction. There was a guy, I really wish I should have known his name. It's disrespectful. I believe his name is Charlie, but it's this guy on YouTube who, have you seen him? He like studies how to make New York pizza. Like he was aiming to make the perfect New York slice. So I looked at his I don't know, formula, you call it. And then I mixed that with something Scott had said and something Garrett had said. And the key for me was adding some rye flour. And it came out awesome. So like my ingredients, I think I use 750 grams of high gluten flour, um, and then 10 tablespoons of rye in there with a mix. But I love it. It's such a because it's not my job, I can do it in a very peaceful way. Like I really enjoy the routine of it. I enjoy the dance, like you gotta the wait a little bit, then the talk. I really love it. It's something that I wouldn't have thought I would have enjoyed as much as I do. But like my son will be like, "Oh, can I help?" I'm like, "No." Like just
Yeah.
just because this is I just enjoy this time.
Yeah, I'm very similar to you. Is like after, working in marketing and having this like almost very high pressure the whole day to be able to stop and cook pizza and cook something Italian for me is just like it's almost like the decompression. Like besides
Yeah.
like, exercising, it's almost like, okay, I get to stop and do something different here that's not this like crazy fast paced, constantly like moving type of thing.
Sure. And you're still creating something because if you're doing what you do, uh creation that juice is constantly running through you. So I feel like it's a good step in a relaxed direction.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I want to hear what, the future looks like for Holy Hot Honey.
Me too. uh so it's we're trying, it's we're not Garrett or I, because so Garrett became a 25% partner in the company when I pitched it to him so he could be a New York division. And
Super nice
then
guy, by the way.
Garrett's also one of these dudes who is just like, you don't know if you could talk to a nicer person. You know, I didn't even know when I was listening to a podcast he had done with Tyrell, and
Yeah, also
who is
nice.
also a super nice person. uh, I, you know, all of Garrett's like charitable work that he does for the community locally and stuff is fantastic. So, no, great guy. So he, you know, it's tough because we're spread across two continents. I being here in Sweden now, and him in New York. So it's going to be a little bit of a juggle. You know, neither one of us are millionaires. He has a kid on the way. We are. It's just, it's going to be a matter of getting this in front of the right people, letting enough people taste it. Somebody had asked me, a bunch of people asked me, like, "Are you going to have this for sale online?" And I want to, but honey is expensive and shipping for honey is just as expensive. You know,
Yeah,
it's if you order even a bottle of if you buy a regular bottle of honey, it's like $6, $7. So this is something a little bit different, a little bit more elevated than regular honey. It's a, you know, a condiment. And yeah, so I'm trying to get it into stores. I have a friend of a friend who is going to hopefully help us get it into a market line. I just sent him out a bottle where he can then try it and see what its potential is, and then hopefully take some part of New York as well. You know, big thing for me here will be America is looked at as very exotically when you're here. So if it's like, oh, here's this American with this product that's also in America and right now at the same time, it'll boost the popularity of the product. I think it stands a good chance. Knock on wood. There's nothing like it here. I would say also, I wouldn't even when I taste it, it doesn't to me compare. It's not the same as Mike's. You know, like there is room for both because they're different.
they're different.
Um,
They're very different. I was actually when I tried yours, I was like, "This one's delicious," but it is definitely different than Mike's.
yeah. Yeah, you know, and I think that's great because a lot of other hot honeys that I have seen are comparable, like they're trying to be Mike's, where that's never what I was doing whatsoever. It was like it was more, all right, I get what Mike's is doing. I was just also trying to combine efforts and like, all right, well, how can I make the ultimate pizza topping here? I love ranch dressing. I really like the hot honey concept. I just couldn't imagine myself putting it on pizza all the time. So I said to myself, what could I put on pizza all the time? And that was this, you know, it's infused with a bunch of spices that I again sat there like a mad scientist. I said to Tyrell on his podcast that I felt like I was going to form Doc Brown hair while I was making this because it was just I'm sitting there, no one's home. I'm at the table, just like making different amounts and trying stuff, and also a fun process though. Honestly, creatively getting to do that, like you see montages in movies, and in this case, I was the montage, and you know, I hope to see it in stores. I hope to see that's the goal is I want people to be able to enjoy it and see what now I knew and what you now know is that it's not the same as Mike's. It's different. It's a completely different flavor palette. It's like excuse me, it's always terrible. There's room for both, you know. If you know yeah, there's just room for both. That would to me it's like Frank's Red Hot and Tabasco. You know, you
Yeah.
don't have to be one or the other. You can be both because they're different.
Well, I mean, we probably in our fridge have 6 different hot sauces because we
Yeah,
use them. My husband loves them. He's
same.
Latin American. He's super into spicy stuff. But, I will say with yours, like, it has a savory component, but I didn't even think about Frank's Red Hots and the head Re Frank's Red Hot. But when you mentioned it, I was like, "Oh, I could totally see, like, this is almost like the Frank's Red Hot of hot honey," which
And that
which is,
thank you.
like, amazing because Frank's Red Hot's been around I mean, my family's pizzeria has used that stuff since it came out.
Where is the pizzeria?
It's right outside of Pittsburgh. They opened up in 1960, and we've
So
always used
cool.
Frank's Red Hot. It's at every table. It's been at every table
Yeah.
my whole life.
It's just I mean, I truly it's so freaking good. It really is. Like their phrase couldn't have been better. Like I put that shit on everything. I mean, it couldn't have been better. But that was the goal. That was 100% the goal for me because again, there were some people who tried the holy hot honey and they were like, okay, I just wish it had more heat. I'm like, well, that's the thing though, you know, Frank's doesn't have a lot of heat whatsoever, but it has a lot of flavor and it's just warm. And that was kind of this as well. It was the idea of warmth and flavor. And then that sweet thing, because the sweet salty combo, like in a flipped chocolate pretzel, that combo just kind of gets you. So yeah, it was about creating, in my mind, what I was aiming for was like, okay, the whole time, ultimate pizza topping. That's just what I was aiming for. And I have other recipes that I look to piggyback on this. Like I made a Hawaiian barbecue flavor, which it came out great. And then an extra spicy one for the people who want extra spice, because even Frank says that, Mike says that, and it's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're coming up with different flavors. I mean, the product is amazing. I really hope you guys get it in stores. I mean, even
Thank you.
maybe pizzerias.
Yes, yeah. Well, that is assumingly the first step, is getting it into pizzerias first, because that's not only a way for people to, it's brand recognition, it's letting them try it for free, because that's also important. The likelihood of somebody buying a bottle on a whim is much less than the person who gets to try it for free. So I'm sure if through marketing, that's just the way it is. That's like back in the day, grocery store free samples, right? Why? Because they're much more likely to buy your full product if they got to have a little taste of it. So same principle. And here they are pretty keen to the idea that this is good on kebab pizzas. So I've been dropping off a couple samples at different few pizzerias and different restaurants. I sent one. I'm like south of Sweden. I sent one all the way up north to Stockholm. Put a couple in my town. One at like a little bed and breakfast kind of place, just to get. They're different folks. They're very different people. It's like New Yorkers versus people in L.A. So if you can get both of them to say it's good, you're like, all right, cool. I got something decent here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the sky's the limit here with the honey.
I sure hope so. I really hope so. Yeah, we're gonna push. That's for damn sure.
Sure. Now, if somebody wants this product, how do they find you?
They go to holyhothoney.com, and there is a link in there, like a form to fill out to tell me, like, if you have a restaurant, if you have a food truck, if you have something that you can use this for, et cetera, because we got some people, it was like someone filled out the form. It's just like, do you have a restaurant? They're like, hell no. They're like, I just want the bottle. Like, well, I'm sure. And again, it's like, I want to sell it to people. It's just that shipping is a nightmare, like a true nightmare. Even here, if but Garrett will be having he has his batch, exact same recipe, steeping right now on Long Island. I have my stuff here in Sweden, and we're going to continue to kind of push forward with that in hopes. Yeah, I really hope so. If people want a bottle, they can write me, and hopefully, if they have an avenue for it, let's do it.
That's awesome. So, what is the best way or the easiest way for them to get a hold of you if they want some of this hot honey?
Definitely the website. Instagram's good too, but the website, like I said, holyhothoney.com, probably the easiest way. It'll just lead you to all the different avenues. There's a direct email, there's the Instagram. Yeah, but definitely easiest way, website and Instagram.
Absolutely. So guys, I will drop all of those handles on every single place that I post this podcast. But Matthew, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I love getting to know you. I'm excited about the product and I wish you the best of growth with this.
Thank you so much. It's actually been a super real pleasure getting to chat with you.